Hello everyone, and we're back to more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for Not Ben. Speaking of which...
He ran out of drugs like a million parts ago.
Yeah. Ben, it doesn't matter. Ben doesn't exercise stuff. Obviously that one Mr. Benjamin Woodman is looking in the area of exercise.
He agrees.
So, this is clear from the testimony we have just listened to. He was too slow and awkward to catch a monkey fleeing through the snow. His relation doesn't really seem to be registering too well around the corner. You think?
They just didn't think about themselves, they're jelly, man.
I know. They didn't think about how necessary Ben being out of weight was to this entire court case.
It makes him not the killer.
Exactly.
Maybe you should leave the courtroom drama for video games and rethink that one. Jeez, Maya. You didn't sing up for these sad, bitch.
Seriously. Okay. I'm gonna leave for video games. Fuck this shit.
This doesn't prove one important thing that we can say it again.
Yep. Okay. Alright, I suppose, if they insist, Ben's testimony has a flaw. There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony.
Contradiction?
The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza.
What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little CV of yours? Well, obviously.
Yeah. I'm saying that there's no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright.
Objection. Well, then tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Objection! Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max.
Wait, that is completely derailing the argument. Like, what the hell was that about? You could have always said that. It had nothing to do with anything.
Well, I can see where it was going for that, but that was kind of a jump, and that's not usually where Phoenix goes.
I mean, because it's like, oh, it could have been someone else who also slipped past. It's like, oh no, wait, never mind, I'm just saying he was lying outright.
Yeah, seriously. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. The witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant.
How? When?
Well, our
He slightly
next...
insulted him.
Yeah, Max kind of clonked him in the head with the
But he doesn't know that.
juice. Yeah, that's true. I guess he doesn't
Like,
know
in this
about
courtroom, nothing has been stated really besides that one time where they were yelling at each other.
Actually, you're right. I apologize, because, yeah, we know they have more rivalry, but to be fair, the court really doesn't. We've just...
Like, they don't even know that Max is in love with a woman yet.
Exactly, so they just know they slightly dislike each other.
What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dogface in trouble. He's not even worth it. Dogface, I love you. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar.
Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw that night, because you're clearly a completely trustworthy witness. Just like every other witness we have on this stand.
I trust him. Demons don't lie. Ha! I've told you so many times. You'd think you'd know my story, but my story's not changing. But see, because demons don't lie. Demons have to say the truth. It's part of the demon code. They just have like they make like these half lies and they trick you, but they never outright lie.
You know, that actually sounds like it's from something.
Right, I think it's normally the general idea with demons because otherwise it'd be a really boring story. I mean, it'd be a
Well,
really boring story if like the devil was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you superpowers if you give me the sword." Ha! I lied. Now go away.
well, I mean, that happens in a lot of stories, though
But
admittedly
normally
some of
he's
them
like, "I'm gonna give
bad.
you your wife," and then the wife dies, but he gets the wife. So
Yeah,
something like that
yeah.
normally is what happens.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, normally the devil does promise something like that. And occasionally there's the random story where somebody plays a flute and beats the devil for some reason.
Occasionally, that's a story that Asian people have.
Yeah. That is
Like
very
this too.
true. Like this one. Already changed your story, Stick Boy, and I'm sure it will change some more.
Where's the one lie? Where there's one lie, there's usually many more behind it.
Wow, you actually learned something, Maya.
I think she stole that from a book.
Oh, probably. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him.
Yeah.
Actually, even if she did take that from a book, I like that. It's a good quote.
In fact, I just feel like she took it from Mia.
Probably.
I give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that does not change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols like, yes, hammer it into my head anymore.
I know, the fact that it's obviously not Max he saw anyways.
Which is kind of annoying that we ran out to point that out earlier in the same case.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty silly.
So that means that Money didn't show up until after he saw Max. That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw. Jesus, how long were you standing there, and how quickly do these things happen? You stand somewhere and expect everything to happen within 2 minute distance.
Yeah, I really don't know why everything just happened so suddenly. What, did you see Max and then Money stole your wallet and all of a sudden Regina shows up and she's like, sup bitches?
And all within 30 seconds.
Sounds alright to me.
He's a 30-second heal.
Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting?
Well, let's see. I'd say about...
I suppose 5 minutes, I think.
In 5 minutes, the whole world can burn down. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Why is one karma helping us? I think she doesn't like this guy.
Can't blame her. Hold it! So you were only concerned with waiting for Gina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up.
We are playing his blind. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something could have slipped by me?
4 eyes, it is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes. This is even more dangerous to our case than Trilo.
The judges are very impressed by 4 eyes.
He is apparently, jeez. I wonder if someone came in with binoculars, if he'd just be like, oh my god, they can see everything.
Probably.
Hold it! Man, I want all-seeing binocular vision.
Well, that might make you... I don't know if that would be legal.
I don't know if all-seeing binocular vision is legal either. Sounds like something a god would have. Or maybe that's what you have in RTS games. Well, that's usually
No, I just
highlight
imagine
holes.
everyone is naked in RTS games.
Why do you say that?
Because when you say, oh, seeing binocular vision, I assume those that can see so close too.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That would be an interesting RTS to be sure. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night.
Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was starting at the end. I was staying at the entrance to the tent the entire time.
Guess that makes sense, especially
So
since
I find it funny that no one has asked him if he even told Regina to show up or not.
I
Because
know.
otherwise, he was just waiting there for no fucking reason.
He was like, Regina will show up here eventually, even if I gotta wait 100 years. She'll eventually show up at this one spot and then... Yeah. I see what you're saying. It is pretty silly, and I'm not actually sure if he did or not. I'm assuming he did, but...
But they haven't asked him about
yeah,
it.
they haven't stated.
He showed
Hold
up
it!
after I had...
Huh?
I was reading that for no reason.
Oh, okay. About what time would you say these events took place?
You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished probably at 10 p.m., so it happened at 15:85 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to have a brain surgeon to know around what time I was when I saw him. You don't need to have a brain surgeon. Fuck, that line. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? 12.
Indeed. What time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second.
It was 10:10 p.m. Also, that's totally flaw. Totally, this game is. I'm trying to think of the word. This game is fake.
What
Germans don't use PM and AM.
Oh, okay.
So she would be standing there being like, "What the fuck are you guys saying?"
Oh, well, I'm sure she learned all about our culture in her plot for revenge.
Probably, and then she swore up.
Well, yeah, you know. Yes, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene committing murder.
Hold it! So you testified that you said good evening to Max, is that right?
You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions.
Yep.
Where we get paid from. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? No, I say good morning during the night and say good night during the morning.
Exactly. I say good night when I'm stabbing someone in a ritualistic murder. Yeah,
No, I do that at night though. And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. No. You might want to pause.
Sorry, Sapare was just getting call about his moose shipment.
God damn it, where do you even come up with what, Ben? You've got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Kilo. He said good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trilo. I
Wait, what?
didn't mean to betray you.
Whatever is going on, I don't know.
I don't know. Mr. Queest, I prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom.
Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performance. You should know better. Yeah, I'm sure he always goes to like a store and buys something. He's like, objection. No, I don't know. He doesn't say objection. He's just like, I don't know. What does the lawyer say? He just hits people with his garbage.
Yeah, probably doesn't.
He doesn't really have a catchphrase for being a judge.
Yeah, he doesn't. I imagine he just goes around hitting people with his gavel for, like, whenever he goes shopping. He's like, no, those are my deals.
That's a awful comedy act. What?
Apparently there's something wrong with this testimony. I say it's Ben's half of the comedy act. I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little act is coming off as a bit stale. I'm sure that if a pro was to refer to... Ow!
You're not trying to pass yourself off as a professional performer, are you? Well, yes, isn't that kind of what we do in here?
Basically is. Don't
get yourself wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and don't get my lines fucked up, Mr. Sapare. I'm pretty sure she would carry me at one point. She's like gonna come out of the TV screen and whip me for fucking up her lines.
Probably so, jeez.
You should know better.
Ow, ow, that hurts.
That should have set him straight. You may proceed with your testimony, witness. I like how that doesn't bring you life, Paul. Getting whipped in the face.
Yeah. Well, Phoenix's physical pain doesn't matter. What only matters about the souls. Draining souls, losing souls. But the actual physical damage, nah. We have a spirit medium for that shit. I'm sure Phoenix has probably died a few times, but you know, just get brought back from the dead. Isn't that a bit strange to you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? Strikes me as somewhat strange.
Why would it strike you as strange? Demons always greet each other. You're just like that. Exactly. How's it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Wait, does one Karma say hello?
Probably not. I'd be surprised if she said hello while we were on our way to, you know, courtroom.
Maybe she has on her whip, like, written good morning. She whips people with that.
Oh, man. That would be the best. She has
another one for good afternoon, and she just has different one for different occasions.
I could just imagine her with, like, a belt full of different whips. One for each occasion.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how Batman works. That's why he has different, like, lengths and types of whips. He just, like, switches them out.
Yeah. Sounds legit to me. Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Ow! That hurt.
Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping the next time. Flappy lips. It's a new game.
New game. 10 out of 17 IGN.
Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. Never went to grade school.
For some reason the trailer would ever say something nice to Max, but how do I get about proving that with the evidence?
Bluffing is everything in this world. But I'm sure you already learned that one. Jeez.
But
I don't want you to become a lawyer. I'd be terrified.
Bluffing.
Like, one Karma would just, like, cover in fear of her.
Bluffing is love. Bluffing is life.
God damn it.
Guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. Okay, so that one's definitely relevant, but we'll continue onwards first.
Yeah.
Hold it! You're 100% absolutely sure of what you just said.
I told you already. Jeez, I'm 100% absolutely sure. He's HIV positive. There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? It's very positive. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those three ridiculous symbols.
Hold it! Those three ridiculous symbols, huh?
Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? I wonder if you could just, like, play it in such a way that you haven't asked it, like, at all.
You probably could.
If you're gonna ask again, answer with a chorus. Everyone together. No.
No.
Fuck you, Maya. Thank you very much.
Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you?
But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. There's a hole in your face.
And, yeah, a hole in her face all the way through her brain. I agree, but do we have the proof to make something stick?
All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful.
Alright, time to go to work.
No, I wish we were shining armor and could pick up and so hurt them.
That would be legit. But, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're going with the broken bottle.
Okay, that makes sense.
Objection! Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight? Mortal combat?
Indeed. Fight over Regina, to be exact.
It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A bottle at least.
A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head.
Like, you don't live in Germany, do you?
And we killed him once again. Jeez. Germany sounds pretty intense.
We take tanks and hit them over each other's heads.
Man, no wonder Von Karma was a vampire. She gotta be to deal with that shit.
But it's not even hurt anymore.
That morning Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch!
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. These, we just admitted to him being guilty.
The truth is, on that day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening.
Honestly, if I had got clobbered over the head by someone's left foot, I would probably say good evening.
I just realized the plot hole here, and I don't think it's in Ben's story so much as the game's logic, though it might be. Because, remember, the guy, Maximilian, he hid the puppet. Meaning there was no way that Ben and Trilo were there waiting for Regina. Because Ben didn't have Trilo.
Actually, yeah, what the fuck is up with that?
I broke the universe, guys!
Unless he hit the puppet after... No, I think we had the idea that he hit the puppet after the murder.
We did, but that's not right, because the guy was still alive, because he was called to the guy's office to talk about the fact that he clonked this dork over the head. Which means there was no way it could have happened after the murder.
Why? He got called into the office, they talked, he left to steal the puppet, and then he somehow stole the puppet while the guy was getting murdered. I don't know. I mean, the bigger problem is that the puppet stated that the police showed up to take the guy away.
Right.
So he was still there when the police was taking him away, so there's no way he could have had time to steal the puppet.
Exactly.
So, I'm not entirely certain if it's just because we haven't played in a long time and that was the reason, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say I think they didn't think of this. So, whoops.
That's weird, because that's a major plot hole. That's like steak level. This is like if the steak suddenly grew into the size of a whole house and it crushed everyone.
Man, that would have been an interesting case. At least this one, it doesn't really focus around this fact, so I'm not super mad because it's not screwing us over. It's just
like a major player here who shouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could also just argue that, I mean, the puppet doesn't, besides arguing that the puppet has a demon inside it, maybe the guy's just playing a character. Maybe he's just lying, like he said he's talking as the puppet, but the puppet wasn't there.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It still would strike me as weird, but,
And he probably wouldn't have said good evening.
Yeah, that's true. He probably wouldn't have said anything. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd, okay, would just up and say good evening to his rival.
Objection.
Well,
are you saying the witness is lying?
I guess with the logic error, he deserved that death. It's what, 5 times? It's going on the count.
That he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just...
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Would you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? Obviously, he saw a different person.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the defendant at least. Neither of the two.
It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of CV is that?
The correct one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is. Oh, Phoenix. Furthermore, I believe the person the witness saw was Max... Was Max all? I think there was a spelling error, but I went over it a little too fast.
What? It was Max, you idiot. That makes no sense.
If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. And that is why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening.
So that Luke Puppet says is very nice to everyone else?
I assume
Jeez, nice enough to just say goodnight to anyone.
Well, I don't think just anyone. I think
maybe
we're
it was
going
the
to...
woman.
I think we're going to reveal it was Mr. Russell Berry.
But then there was the option to say... There was the option to say the defendant. Wait, no, wasn't there the option to say the victim?
No, there was the option to say the defendant, which would be Max.
Oh, okay.
I mistook that as a victim. Right,
Okay.
That's why I would have said that, because whatever.
Yeah. I was actually wondering when you mentioned that. I was like, I thought we already established we were assuming it wasn't the defendant, but I didn't really linger on it. But yeah, I can understand getting those mixed up. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the wood, you?
Defense, kindly explain who it was that Trilo saw that evening, then.
Candor.
Take that! Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet.
Gandalf, mistake Yellowbeard.
Must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute.
You haven't even seen her. Jeez, you probably already has like, no, I don't even.
I don't even want to see it. Yeah, I don't even want to see the judge's computer.
Does he even know that she's like 16?
Probably not. No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah. I suppose you've got a good point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim, I'm sorry, was it not?
You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry.
Wow.
The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry.
I still think of him as Bubba Berry every time I say his name.
Man, I'd be sad he was dead, but I would love bubbleberries in these games. They need to make a Phoenix Wright with the R63 main 6, like
Maybe do Phoenix Wright with the main 6, and then they can do one with the R63 main 6.
Yeah, well, well, yeah, that's true. The one they did wasn't exactly, it wasn't a game. It was a thing. Anyways, that's why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correct?
That's how demons work.
Makes sense to me. Answer the question, Mr. Quist.
Wow. Jesus, he's just explosive today.
What's that, 6th time we've killed him? Oh man, I'm going for a record. I'm gonna kill this day at least once for every day of the week. Order! Order! How do you respond to this?
Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But, once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
I don't think you can mistake those two.
Wait, maybe he just thought that Maximilian Galactica had a passion for pies.
So, he was like, man, Maximilian has to gain like 100 pounds since the last thing, what a fat ass. Just instantly gaining 100 pounds. on the
Honestly, in
spot.
that white suit, when you see him from behind, the question just kind of looks like Nick.
Yeah. And there's so many people who are Nick in this game. I sort of had someone who were claimed was Nick in the last case, too.
But maybe Nick is just in every case.
Well, I mean, technically Maya calls Nick for some reason. Someone figured that one out, so I guess he is.
That's true.
I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. Problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica, or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry?
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that they saw. Fuck you. That he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols?
Jesus Christ, Nick. Alright, this is getting odd. Come on, man. You've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Yes, we know. The sick head, code, and white roses.
Jeez, what karma just freaking killed that dude.
And no one even cares.
That was
Does it
actually
count as
pretty
our
badass.
kiss?
I
I guess she has 1 kill now.
Yeah, yes so. Objection! You can't just kill people like that. You gotta do it with logic. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. Well, yes, that's true.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? Could have been someone else, dressed up as him.
Cosplayers.
Possibly even Russell Berry, a well-known cosplayer.
Right, I mean, it could have been Maya.
Yeah,
She has to cosplay as everyone.
probably so.
What? The part ended? That's impossible. Because the part is over.
Thank y'all for watching.